You will not believe who I met today. On the train of all places. You won't believe it. I had to take the train into Hark. Keith had an emergency appointment at the wax and tan salon ahead of his synchronized aqua salsa competition. So, had to take the denim blue Mercedes-Benz SLK with 3-litre engine and twin exhaust. I'm not a fan of public transport ordinarily, but needs must. Today proving worth it. I was meeting my friend Sylvia, you see, for a matinee performance of Lord of the Dance on ice. Michael Flatley isn't my thing, but Sylvia cannot get enough. She's obsessed. Last time we saw him, she spent a fortune on merchandise. At least £150, I'd say. T-shirt, mug, tea towel, even his 2012 Flatley in the Buff calendar, Lord Where's My Pants. She's used it every year since. September being her favourite month, when he's posing nude with nothing but a pocket-sized copy of the Good News covering his Holy Spirit. It's a 20-minute journey by train from Kinley Village into Hark. Actually quicker and cheaper than driving, but isn't as comfortable. And I like my Neil Sedaka on in the car. Plus, the things you see on public transport is enough to give you sleepless nights. In fact, before I even got on the train, I had to divert my eyes from a randy couple of reprobates on the platform. Practically eating each other's faces they were. They didn't give a hoot that the platform was full. It's completely disrespectful. But that's the elderly for you. Must have been a similar age to Mother. Just didn't give a damn. I managed to get my seat, opposite a chap that kept coughing whenever anyone approached. Initially I thought he was ill. However, I came to realize that he was using his hacking as a deterrent to prevent people from sitting next to him. Clever little scoundrel. He was a train enthusiast. Kept asking where I was travelling to, if I'd been on a train before, did I like trains, did I know that the original line didn't include Harkside as it was previously undeveloped, and only came to be included when the business centres created a demand for workers. He was quite the bore. He'd have got on famously with Keith. Thankfully he was only on for one stop, got off at Kingston. From Kingston, Harkside is the next stop, then Hark, which is where I was travelling to meet Sylvia. As the train pulled into Harkside, many people boarded. It actually got quite busy and seats were filling up fast. I found myself adopting the coughing method, in a bid to keep people from sitting next to me. Then I heard, "Excuse me, is this seat taken?" As I swung my head around to state that my baggage clearly sat there, I was stopped in my tracks to discover that it was none other than Deborah Meaden, off the television, Dragon's Delight. I grabbed my Karl Lagerfeld cactus leather tote bag and placed it on my lap, signalling that she was welcome to sit next to me. "You're wet," I stated. "It's raining," she replied. I couldn't believe she was on a train. She must be worth an absolute fortune. She could be chauffeured about all over the place, but here she was, sat on a train, next to me, moist from the rain. I needed to strike up a conversation, saying something witty or memorable, you know. I don't really know a great deal about business, and I only know about Dragon's Delight because Keith watches it. I was struggling to think of the starting point. Then I thought, stay cool. Just be yourself. I don't often use the train. I have a denim blue Mercedes-Benz SLK with a roof that goes down and then goes back up again automatically. My husband required it today, so I've resorted to public transport. What brings you here? To my surprise, Deborah responded, I use the train often. I like to use public transport and use it as much as I can. I do have a car. It's electric. BMW i3. I like to do my bit for the planet. I couldn't believe it. We were now officially conversing. I have separated items for recycling long before there were official bins to do so, I replied. Even planted a tree once, when Daddy died, to remember him by. Bonsai. It's in the conservatory. Are you not concerned about the impact that your Mercedes-Benz is having on the planet? She inquired. I wasn't sure how to correctly respond to this, but in order to maintain the friendship that was evidently blossoming between us, I knew I needed to get my response just right. So I took a sip of my drink, and then it came to me. You see, Deborah, to me, life is about balancing. I do drive a vehicle that many will see as a threat to the planet. To me, it is a work of art. It communicates to others that I am a person of stature, taste, and refinement. It turns heads of people who cannot afford such luxury but have desires for it, therefore inspiring them to do more with their little lives in order to reach such aspirations. Buying a Mercedes-Benz means backing British brands, supporting our own manufacturing plants, and therefore meaning that my SLK doesn't require shipping across the world and instead could be collected several miles up the road from us at a dealership in Kingston. I'm mindful of the planet in many other ways too. All of my clothing is high-end luxury, not cheap fast fashion. As I mentioned, I recycle. Oh, take this coffee, for example, which I purchased on the platform at Kinley Village station prior to boarding the train. It's a half-calf, extra-hot caramel macchiato with almond milk. The almonds have been serenaded by a violinist for at least an hour. I make sure it's stirred counterclockwise by a barista wearing a vintage apron. I like it topped with whipped cream, but only if it's been whipped by hand, with a dash of cinnamon on top. But not just any cinnamon, the kind that's been harvested during a full moon. And let's not forget a shot of espresso, but only if the beans have been slowly roasted whilst listening to smooth jazz. And finally, I have it served in this. My reusable, totally wicked Awesome Tunes FM travel cup, which I won in a competition on the radio with that man I like, Dave Javu. Because I need everyone to know that I'm not just anyone drinking coffee. I'm a somebody drinking coffee. One of life's winners. Oh, and to go with it, I have a gluten-free, vegan, low-calorie, air-infused donut. So you see, I offset my carbon impact in many other ways to compensate for the use of my high-end luxury vehicle. She was impressed, I could tell. She took a moment as she stared blankly at me. Are you vegan, may I ask? Of course I am, I replied. Her eyes lit up as she proceeded to tell me that she is plant-based and has recently invested in a product that is ideal for people like me. I leaned in with intrigue and excitement in anticipation of what my new friend Deborah Meaden off the telly was going to promote. It's a new vegan line of compostable spandex pants. They help you to achieve a nipped and tucked silhouette whilst being friendly to the planet. They are made from plastic bottles dredged from the oceans, old car tyres and discarded cling film. Every pair is blessed by a Tibetan monk before dispatch. They are guaranteed to hold in every lump and bump, perfect for someone like you, being so environmentally conscious, that is. They are called blessed and compressed. The train pulled into Hark City Station at this point, and with that I had to bid farewell to my new friend, as she was staying on until Evesley. She reached out and gently clasped my wrist as I went to leave, stating, "Oh, and for your information, a Mercedes-Benz is German, not British." With that I left. It was so wonderful to meet her. Deborah Meaden, my new friend. Wait till I tell Keith. Although, you can tell she's a public transport person. Clearly doesn't know a thing about cars. German.